unusual situation indeed for Hearts, not to be led out by the iconic figure of their captain, Stephen Presley, suspended for this one and missing his first league game of the season, but just as significant as the absence of Paul Hartley, injured, who's been so influential in midfield this season. Jamie McAllister and young Chris Berra fill the vacancies. Well, Kelly haven't had their troubles to seek with injuries either. David Lilly and Gary Locke, who played on Sunday both. Locke, of course, the former Hearts player, they both missed this one. In come Ryan Dodds, and getting his chance on the big stage, the man from Stranraer, Fraser Wright. Well, the first good news is the rain has ceased. It was an absolute deluge when we arrived at Tynecastle. You had to begin to wonder whether the game would go on, but we were told that it is a very good pitch indeed. It takes a fair amount of rain. It has to, given the conditions over the past week. And indeed, it might make for an interesting game. There could be mistakes in defence on a very slippery surface. Killy played more than tolerably well at the weekend against Celtic. There's his boy, Naismith, coming in there. Naismith again, looking very bright. Good play by Killy. Didn't quite get away with that. Pospisil had put that down, claiming for the push there. Oh, that's a brilliant save. Graham Smith getting right across to that. That was a very, very difficult ball indeed to take on this kind of surface. There's the run forward again. Another free kick. Scatchell, very, very difficult to stop when he puts his mind to it and his body to it like this. Scatchell taking a close look at that, then decides to go into the wall. Just Nosh goes through, and that's another excellent save. The referee is waving play on after that collision. There it is. That's 2 saves in 10 minutes this lad has had. Remarkable entry into Scottish football, this man. Deserving of all the plaudits he's getting. But that's a good-looking ball, and it's out! Just past. Pospisil. This is Fowler. He gave that ball away very poorly. Fowler trying to backtrack. That's a magnificent ball in there. Jankowski, he scores! Hearts are in the lead. A glorious diagonal ball there, coming from that initial mistake by Fowler, and I think the Killie manager must be incensed about how cheaply Kilmarnock gave the ball away. Invincible, here's Boyd. Oh, that was a superb effort. Very difficult chance indeed. We have a change of match official this evening. Something's happened to Stuart Dougal, I don't know at this moment. But Mr. O'Reilly has now taken over. Pospisil. Scatchell. Controlled that beautifully. Looked as if he had lost the ball, then got back at it. Oh, there, Jack Caucus. Should be played into the middle. Naismith is there. He can't get to it. Well defended. Once again, it's there. Oh, that's appealed for the penalty. Not given. The Kilmarnock players aghast at that. That ball was hit in very, very hard indeed. Near post well put down. Scatcho can't get a shot in. He was eager for it. Took up the right position again. Andy Webster is in there. Once again the goalkeeper gets it. What are you going to do? Heart supporters in the background now. You feel this game's in the bag. Oh, I think it might be now. Post Vasil. Yes, it will be. No. And just past. McAllister. That would have killed it. Well, they caught up the chorus of the crowd there. It inspired them for that final effort as the final whistle does go after that miss. Final score, Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Well, Archie's joined us in the studio, and the success story continues, even without a manager.
The bubble hasn't burst. I mean, you travelled through from the west, oh, Hearts will go this time. They'll collapse. Don't worry about it. You know, the big difference, Jim, was atmosphere. 2 years ago, even last season, that game, a midweek game, and that kind of weather would have drawn about 9,000. It was full. Yeah. The Hearts supporters are behind them. And what was interesting about it, because Killie gave them a good game, played some smashing football in the second half. The trouble is they didn't have a direct shot at Gordon all night. They had some lovely balls played into the box. It was either taken by Gordon or Andy Webster. Webster was absolutely superb. You felt there might just be a wee bit of frailty there with Presley not beside him, but he covered up. There's one particular, and Craig as a centre-back would have appreciated this, going towards his own goal and heading the ball clear, which could have been a big mistake. Now, we saw the two sides to Hearts. The pulsating blitzkrieg to start off with, which might have swept them into a 3-goal lead. Good goalkeeping, as we saw. And then the second half, where they seemed to, if you like, I'm not saying they're jaded now, far from that, but they became a bit flat. You know, when you see the kind of breakaways that can be done by Scatchell, none of these happened in the second half.
Craig, you were there as well last night. Possibly not their best performance this season, but great for the Hearts fans to see Jankowskis getting on the score sheet. He contributes so much for them, apart from scoring goals, but they needed that goal last night, didn't they?
Yeah, I think George Burley said that was the only thing that was lacking in the big fella's game, was actually getting the ball in the back of the net, and last night scoring the goal at an important time. But Kilmarnock had the ball, were going forward, looked dangerous, and then look at the quality of this ball from Scatchell. It's absolutely magnificent, hard to defend. Then you're 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, perfect finish. Kilmarnock, I'm like Archie, I thought Kilmarnock matched them all over the park. But if you see the chances, Kilmarnock didn't create great chances. Hearts did. They really worked the Killie goalkeeper, and because of that, I think they just shaded the game and deserved to win. And Archie, as you both mentioned, the Kilmarnock goalkeeper was in fantastic form last night.
Yeah, he was. I mean, if they had crumbled early on in the game, then I think Hearts would have run up not a cricket score, but they would have won much more easily than they did. But the point about it is, Jim, in the longer term, we're talking about a team that can win a game that didn't play all that brilliantly, looked a bit flat at times, but yet came away with maximum points. That's how you win a league.
Craig, the latest name in the frame is Claudio Ranieri. What do you think is going to happen there?
Well, I don't know. That's because Hearts haven't come out and told us anything. Everybody's going to speculate for days and days. I was at the game last night. At half-time, the fans were shouting at the chairman and the owner, tell us the truth. They want to know what's going on. They want to know what happened with George Burley. They can't believe the party had come with the manager when you're top of the league, and the fans will continue to do that until Hearts either come out and tell us what happened or bring in a new manager.
But Archie, briefly, these quality of names are normally only associated with the old firm.
Yeah, it's changed. The whole aspect of this has changed. We go back to Rangers again. Rangers are at the crossroads. They could, if they go the way they're going on, they'll struggle